Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Bant, Plagon, Control. Plagon, Lord of the Beach, lets you draw for each creature that you control that has higher toughness than it has power. And we have lots of mana dorks. We've got 4 Delighted Halflings. We've got 4 Noble Hierarchs. We've got 4 Tamios, of course. And we have this new card, Aang, Swift Savior. This is a 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue, legendary 2/3 flying with flash. When Aang enters, airbend up to 1 other target creature or spell. So this is essentially like a Venser effect for 3 mana instead of 4. And then it has this text at the bottom, Waterbend 8, Transform Aang. This is precisely the kind of card I was very hyped about because it's legendary, which plays well with, of course, one of the most broken cards that hasn't been fully broken yet, Delighted Halfling, and because it has higher toughness than it has power, so it contributes to Plagon. We're playing a lot of Planeswalkers in this deck. We're playing 2 Teferis main, and then if we're not up against aggro, if we're up against like a 1-ring deck or something, we've got 3 Narsets we can bring in. So I'm really going to try to lock down Tamiyo through this angle, but we do have 3 main deck Prismatic Endings, and we also have 4 Plows. So we're kind of splitting the difference, equipped for both fair and unfair matchups, and we'll just see whether we draw the right half of our deck depending on the matchup. If we get a cool mid-rangey matchup, that'll be fun because then that'll be a true battle of wits, not just a battle of matchups. So I'm going to jump into round 1 right here. We're going to play a full 5 rounds as always. We're up against an unknown opponent with a Tamiyo hand. I think we keep this. I'm not going to play on basics. I've got lots of color requirements in my hand, and I'll just open with this. If they turn on Blood Moon us, that'll be very sad. But I haven't seen much Blood Moon at all lately. I think it's only in like maybe 5 or 6% of decks. Okay, this is Fatal Push. It is. That's a 1-for-1. We take those. We didn't build our entire deck around Tamiyo with like dazes and stuff. We're very much like a mid-rangey deck. I think I ponder first. I don't think they're going to daze this. If they do, that's actually fine. They do daze it. Okay. That's no big deal. I got a daze out of them. I got some tempo. I don't have any Surveil lands in the deck. I probably could have added one. Yeah, I'm just going to chill with this up, and we'll see what they do. Then next turn, I mean, I'd really like to have a halfling before I try to jam these, especially against their known daze deck. They kind of blew that daze, though. Like, you want your daze to convert. They took a gamble on us not having a second land. So, okay, it looks like what are they playing this in? So it may be like a Grixis Delver type deck, but usually this only goes in decks with DRC. So they get the trigger. We don't have Bowmaster in our deck, so we can't punish this. All right, we're drawing a lot of lands. My goodness, I don't really want to crack the fetch because I could shuffle away some of these lands. I think I just played this out. I mean, I could go for Teferi here. It'd be really annoying if it just got dazed again. But if it gets dazed again, they're not doing anything. I'm going to go for it. I would like to shuffle this away, but it's all right. I'll hopefully shuffle. I'll find a fetch to shuffle it away later. I'm not going to respect non-basics when they're playing non-basics, or respect, I guess, anti-non-basic stuff. I'll take a Tundra here. Let's go ahead and see if we can just get a card real quick. They may have a Bowmasters and deal with this next turn, but it will be... yeah, there we go. That was great. They pitched a Kaito. I wouldn't have wanted to deal with that. That's one of the weaknesses of Bant right now, is it doesn't have good answers to Kaito. It's too much, like the mana value is 4, so it's hard to Prismatic End it. This is probably representing Bowmaster. All right. I mean, I think I just ponder here and then I can plow. They could have Spell Pierce. I would like to potentially shuffle some of this away if I find a fetch land. Okay. So this is a Delighted Halfling and a shuffle effect. I think I take it. Unfortunately, because I tap my Trop, I can't play at the Halfling this turn and play... I mean, gosh. Do I just want to shuffle this? I think I can do better. I've already got a plow. All right. Well, I will play a land this turn, but I'm not happy. This we are totally flooded. We're playing 18 lands, by the way. But it seems like it doesn't matter how many lands I play, I'm going to get flooded, and you probably feel the same way. So this plow is going to be aimed squarely at a Tamio or a Bowmaster. We don't want them to be able to resolve a Kaito. They probably have a second Kaito in their deck. It's strange they don't have any threats at all yet. Usually they do. Okay, this is good. I'm going to plow this. I can wait and plow, and I can even Aang if they force. I need to get this off the table. It's a 6/7. Damn. Okay, and there's the fetch. I'm going to go ahead and start with the plow. They force again. Okay, well, luckily Aang is very good at stopping force. Well, check this out. First appearance of Aang on the channel. So he's going to go ahead and bend this force, and then they'll have to pay mana for it. Okay, and their plow. Boom, diggity. Bitey bye. You have a force in exile, which you can cast for 2 mana. That may be an issue later, but it's not an issue right now. Okay. So I think they're just on like a bigger blue-black deck, it looks like. Down to 2 cards. Our hand is garbage. I will risk a brainstorm here. Plagon is quite good. It draws 2 cards. I'm going to go for it. Oh, wait, they can just pay for the force here. I mean, I could wait till they tap out. I've got literally nothing going on, though. I'm 2 away from waterbending. I think I'm just going to attack and not do anything here. Because I'm representing Hardcast Force. I mean, the notion of waterbending this is amazing, but what are the odds we're going to be able to do it? We're 2 away. I think I just chill. I need them to tap out like for a Baragorf, and then I can Plagon. Now they're not even going to tap out for a Baragorf. Okay, so they're representing Hardcast Force and the force that's in exile. I'm just going to keep doing what we're doing. Maybe they'll bite on this. I seriously doubt it. Okay, now we'll swing for 3. So this does buff Plagon when we eventually cast him, but again, I don't feel comfortable casting into known Force Will in exile. This is easy. This is an easy kill for Bowmaster. Okay. Okay. So now I am kind of thinking that we put this out. So we can waterbend next turn at will once we play out the land because we'll have sufficient mana. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're so close to doing it. I think I'm gonna chill just for one more turn on this land though, because I don't want to spook them like, oh, they're up to waterbend. So I think I can do this to. Oh, that's a good draw. To get around removal. If they push, I could force. If they hard cast a force, then they won't be able to cast the second one, and I'll still be able to Plagon. So yeah, I think it does make sense to go ahead and fetch here. Let's see, yeah, I'm going to fetch. I'll get my last drop out of the deck. I'm not going to show them any basics, so that they'll aggressively waste me next game. Let's go ahead and do this. Actually, yeah, I mean, if this works, it's insane, but it's not going to work, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they have some sort of removal. Okay, transforming. Do you have the Fatal Push? Okay. Well, didn't expect to do this on the first freaking game. Yeah, this is insane. Okay, so everything gets buffed. We're hitting them for like a ton. These get a permanent buff. They're out of Bowmaster range now. They're taking, I think, like 9 or 7. Okay. They're on a 2-turn clock. Wow, Aang is really showing up strong here in the first round of the league. Yeah. And they could have wasted at some point, but they didn't think that it was necessary. I think they just neglected to see that there's waterbending too. They're going to need a Fatal Push, which will still kill this. It's still a 3-drop. And it has Trample, so they're not going to be able to kill it with like a Baragorf. I'll just attack into a Baragorf if they have it. Actually, is that true? Yeah, it'll be big enough to kill a Baragorf in combat. Nethergoyf. Fetching. And if the second they tap out, Plagon's going on the stack. I'm going to let that go. Come on, play something else. You have something else in hand, right? Waste me so I can't do that again. I just need to get them off of the Force of Will that's in exile. All right. I think there's a pretty good chance that they force this. I could Plagon and then they force, and then I just do this again and I can keep both of them. I think that's good. Yeah, I think they're going to play the force out of exile. This is going to be so sweet. I love Aang. This card is awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. They daze. Okay, I will pay for daze. And I'm going to draw 4 cards here. And next turn, I can just waterbend again. So we just kept airbending their force. Now we draw 4 cards. just the best. My goodness. We have Teferi on deck. I could go ahead and play out this halfling just to ensure that we can resolve our next spell. I think that's good because I don't think it's going to matter. This game is very, very over, in my humble opinion. All right, they're still making a fight of it. Maybe because I'm like really low on time. I recorded my deck tech like after the matches started. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't actually stop Aang from transforming. So I'll just transform Aang, and I believe it'll be lethal. Watch this. I mean, I actually, it's safer to just bounce this out of play. Uncounterably. Wait, we need white mana. Just utter devastation by the larger deck. And they're dead. I'll just go ahead and flip this just to make sure they're dead. Okay. Okay. Sideboard. We bring in Prismatic Ending. This is a matchup where Narset could be good. I think we take out the Pierces and we bring in some Narsets. I like that. All right, I'm definitely feeling the 4 Prismatic Endings. Oh yeah, got 2 of them in my hand. I'm going to play on basics this time. Am I? I don't think I am because I want to get a Halfling out. We'll see how they start. This is a great hand. Halfling into turn 2 Narset. If they have a slower draw, they mold to 5. Narset is excellent against Tamiyo because guess what? They can't ultimate Tamiyo when Narset's out. I mean, they can if they want to just take 7 loyalty off and do nothing. I think there's a decent chance that they're gonna. Oh wow, they've been that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Halfling here. Strike while the iron's hot, and it is piping hot, fuming hot, searing hot. Do you want to daze this insane card and set yourself back 2 turns, basically? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. 1 for 1, and now they can surveil, which maybe they want to surveil, but I don't know. I wouldn't. Like they're a tempo deck. The game gets worse for them as it goes. So I'm always happy when my opponent has to daze with this. I don't think it's... I think these cards kind of suck. Like, I think they're overrated. That said, I could probably play 1 in the deck. Okay, so here... I will just... I'm going to double spell here. Get this out. And then I'm going to go ahead and ponder just to get deeper into my... Like, I'd like the line of land 3. This is pretty freaking ideal because we can keep a force up. Plow is exceptional. Do we want the plow? We probably want the plow. We'll find the plow off Narset activation if she resolves. I'm going to go ahead and take the force now. If they Thoughtseize, they're almost certainly going to take Narset. She's like insane against their deck. And we have force to ensure that she resolves. If they play a Bowmaster, I will force it. They've already used their days. No thanks. I don't want to lose my Halfling here. If they daze back, it's pretty bad. Okay, they didn't. Yep. And I'm not saying they're playing wrong or anything. Like they were in a rough situation. They mulled to 5. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Blue, blue, blue. We know that we have a SCP on top. I'm going to go grab it. Yeah, I'll take the SCP. And we have a high enough concentration that we can generally find. Like, I think our whiff rate is below 5%. I'll do the calculation after this match. I just don't want to run out of time. Thoughtseize is fine. So now we can pay... Like, the only card that scares me in their entire deck, really, other than Bowmasters, which is always scary, is... yeah, that's fine. That's it. Easy. Clear. Is Kaito. I'm not scared of Baragoyf. Okay, force. So we're going to go ahead and just clear this now. I could do this all day long. We could hit him for 1. I am going to activate this. I realize it leaves us, but and we whiffed. I don't think that it's going to happen too often. We could just hit for 1. I don't think it hurts to do so. I'm not going to feign having stuff up. If they are able to Prismatic End, now they have to choose between the two. Or I'm sorry, if they're able to Bowmaster again. Bowmaster is their best draw. Plagon or Kaito will be a good draw later though. Okay, so now we have Force up. I do want to end here for sure. That needs to happen. Now I'm going to go ahead and Ponder. They don't have the mana to punish it. And there's a good chance that I won't have to, that I'll be able to keep these. Another Ponder's fine. I think that Plow is what I'm here for. I think we could shuffle away the Wasteland. Or yeah. What I'll do, I'm not going to Plow next turn. I'm going to go ahead and hold the Ponder just in case they have a Bowmaster. I don't want them to get out from under this Narset. And now I can safely attack, and they won't daze this, but if they did, then I would have to shuffle away the Plow that I found. But the other thing is, like, if they Thoughtseize here, I don't lose the Plow. And they took the Plow earlier. So I think they are working toward, like, a Beargoyf or something like that. Okay. Now we get the Plow. And we know the next card is not what we want. It's just another Force. I'm inclined to go ahead and just shuffle it. I could keep this shuffle up. Because there's a decent chance that I shuffle this. No, I'm going to go ahead and look at 3 good cards. If they Bowmaster, it's annoying, but I can Plow it. Maybe I shouldn't. I think the Narset is too important. Yeah, I'm just going to attack for 1. And we're going to take this slow. I will definitely force a Bowmaster. Okay, they don't have Bowmaster. I'm used to playing tempo decks, so to slow down and just play like not use any of my mana, it feels like really jarring and weird, but I think it is correct. I am going to go ahead and go for the Ponder. I just need to wait for a blue card. We're going to stay in stasis here. I do want to shuffle this back. I don't need more lands. So if I find a Brainstorm, which I have 4 in my deck, this will go back for sure. Tamiyo doesn't matter to me. Even if they flip her, I don't care because I have Narset out. She does stop my Noble Hierarch beatdown. Okay, now that they've tapped out, I am going to go for this. Just go like this. Ponder. Okay, Plagon. That's what we want. So I'm just going to Plagon here. All these cards are great. Hopefully they don't force this. But if they do, there's nothing I can really do about it. I'll play this out so I can shuffle if I need to pay for days. Okay, they did force there. Okay, so the card they pitched was a Force Negation. Okay, well that's nice because that would have actually hit something. Their dazes and stuff are dead. So I have I think, was it a Force on top and a Plow? I'm probably going to shuffle those away. I think I'll take the Force. Because protecting Narset is pretty important now. They can also draw on my turn, so it's not like it's a lock. So it might make sense to remove her. I don't know. I have so many good draws. I'm gonna go for it. Okay. And now let's take an organic draw. I do have Hardcast Force, which I don't like to do, but I could do. Yeah, that sucks. My goodness. All right, I'm going to play it out, and we're just going to hold up Hardcast Force around days. I don't think attacking for 1 matters substantially here. They can use their clue to draw. Maybe it is correct to go ahead and Plow. I might die at a Beargoyf, but like they are going to get an extra card every turn cycle. I think this is okay. All right, and they'll probably crack this in the end step. So it'll suck if they have days and a Bowmaster. Again, I want to emphasize, I'm playing 18 lands. This is a Force. It would not necessarily be a Force that I not dealt with Tamiyo, but I think this is worth forcing here. And then we'll freak out if they have an interaction. Okay, they didn't. All right. So I'd like to think that they have some Cantrips Riding in their hand. I think we re-Narset here for sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and minus. I'll take the plow. There are a lot of lands on top of my deck. My goodness, deck. I think I just come in for a damage. I got to get the job done somehow. So I've got one more Narset activation. They have Kaito here. If they want it, they're going to take my plow. So those chip damages from the Hierarch are kind of adding up. I think they may have another Baragoi for something. Like, I'm stunned that they don't have like 10 cards in hand from like cantrips and stuff. This is another Baragoi? That sucks. Okay, I have to find a removal here. 3 of my 4 forces are in the yard, but one of my 4 prismatic endings will do it. Aang is a good like answer if I need it. I am going to minus though. Ha! Nice. So I think we just prismatic here. I would like Teferi. I mean, with Teferi, I might be able to bully them long enough. Yeah, they're down to 1 card. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And I can Aang as well. In the instep, like when they try to recast this, I'll just Aang it. And that'll just keep it turned around for a while. Okay. I think it's better to Aang, and then I can play the Hierarch out and hit them for 4 next turn. I'm pretty sure they are going to try to do that. And even if they like tap, like if they decide to waste me, I could Aang. But I definitely want to Aang with it on the stack. All right, let's Aang. Uncounterably because of Teferi. This is, I feel like I'm just bullying my poor blue-black tempo player. Like, I love blue-black tempo, but it needs to be stopped. It is one of the 4 best decks in the format, in my humble opinion. Alongside Karnforge, 12 Post, and Blue-Red. Okay, they're going to go ahead and cast it a second time, which is fine. I don't have the mana quite yet to flip her. I'm like 1 away. Flip him. I think Aang is male. Okay, there we go. This does have flying. All right, let's plus here. I'm going to brainstorm first and just try to find another prismatic ending. I would love to shuffle away these planes. Okay, there we go. So I can shuffle these away. We can give our opponent some hope and just do this at instant speed during their turn. I think they're probably inclined to attack Narset, but I've got plenty of blockers regardless of what happens. Hitting them for 4 in the air. They're at 4. We'll go blue, white, blue, or green. Ending. This is ending the game. There's no way that they're coming back with 2 cards in their hand with the lock we have on them. I do have bending next turn, but they're dead anyway. Shield's Edict. Yeah, I will sacrifice Teferi just in case you have a Ponder in your hand. All right, their last card could be Fatal Push. So I'll attack and then I'll flip at instant speed if they try to push. They're brainstorming. They get to look at 1 card and then they get to put 2 cards back. All right. Good games. We won 2-0. But again, it's a white deck versus tempo decks. That's one of the reasons it's good to play white. Round 2, we're 1-0. We're up against an unknown opponent with a no-lander on the play, thankfully. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to halfling. We are vulnerable to... I'll put back a plow. We're vulnerable to combo. All right, so we're going to open Strand, Trop, Halfling. All right, our opponent F6 through our turn. So you don't normally do that if you're playing counter spells. So that tells me, oh, okay, Delver. Not necessarily. But usually Delver wants to open with a threat and not a ponder. So maybe this is just Sneak and Show. Not a good matchup. All right, we're just going to attack for 1. Like, it's pathetic, but our deck is not cooperating. We got a no-lander into a pretty mediocre hand that I didn't want to throw back. Yeah, we're going to get Sneak and Showed right now. Pathetic. I'll see what they put in. If it's a Trax, I can look at their deck. I don't have anything to put in. Oh, it's Emrakul. Okay, well, good game. Yeah, this is a tough matchup. I do think Narset comes in for sure. The Force Negations come in. The Hydroblasts come in. There's almost nothing to hit in their deck with Pyro. or with Prismatic Ending. Aang actually could be really good here. We could like, yeah, it's actually not that great against sneak attack because the triggers still go on the stack. So like, is this worth playing? I think it is because we can interact with their removal. They could play Blood Moon. That doesn't happen a lot, but it could be in their deck. So I don't want to trim any lands necessarily. And also we got a no lander there. I don't think it's correct to trim lands, but I am thinking about trimming Hierarchs. Oh, we'll take all the plows out. That's easy. We have one more cut. We barely have any white in our deck. I think I am going to trim up plains. If I'm doing that, maybe I bring these back in and trim one of these. 101? Yeah, let's do it. We're on the play. It's just, yeah. Basic plains is a bummer. I don't want to play basics at all. All my previous versions of this deck didn't play basics because a lot of times you'll be up against a Blood Moon and you'll already have the Hierarch out. This is a keep. It's not a great hand. Show and Tell doesn't put a Planeswalker into play, unfortunately. It was printed before Planeswalkers. It would probably say Planeswalker today if had that ability. So I'll play this out. That way I can fetch a Plains just in case they do try to Blood Moon me. Again, it's not common, but it would be an embarrassing way to lose. Okay. All right, that's a great card. So we're just going to be on the slow train. Next turn, I'll go for Teferi, because if Teferi resolves, we're in a very strong position against their deck. I do think that I could have put a probably a Meticulous Archive in the deck. So, unfortunately, I do think we need to fight here. The card to fight with is probably Teferi because... And I will use Force of Negation here. Narset helps us reload and impacts the board. I might have to use both. Okay, well that's nice. I didn't have to use both. Right. I'm not about to draw, and I do want to reduce the amount of lands. I'm definitely tapping out for... let's just see if I can slightly reduce the number of lands so I can slightly increase the likelihood of finding a card that does something. Nope. No such luck. My goodness. My deck, like I'm playing 17 lands and you never would have guessed it. They're like homing missiles from my hand. Okay. All right. So our opponent sees that. They have to go for it now. This is the Magus that I was worried about. Damn it. Yeah, this sucks because I don't have any way in my deck to remove it. I can't play green. I should have probably fetched the forest in anticipation for this, but I have to fight this. It sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. And they're fighting back. So now Narset is dead to this. I don't actually know what I can do to win from here. I have Hydroblast. I need to find a Hydroblast. Tamiya's not bad. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Force Negation is a good rip. Unfortunately, I can't hardcast it if they try to go for it. I'm going to play this out so I can shuffle later. And I am going to Tamiyo because she defends Narset. And we're just shields down for a turn cycle. They did force their pitching a Brainstorm, which is good for them because Narset's out. So I can block here. They have a Pyro. They can kill both of these things. That's devastating. Man, such bad luck. Like, I don't like to get salty and whiny and stuff, but man, like they've just had everything here. And I knew that it was a risk and I screwed up and I didn't get the forest when I could. So I felt like I had to fight that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fought it. Aang Swift Savior is uncastable. He has to be pitch cast to Force Negation. We're never going to resolve him, sadly, unless we find a Pyro. I'm going to hold this just in case I do find a Brainstorm. But I'm not going to be able to shuffle the Brainstorm. I probably should have played it out. I'm going to let this happen. I don't force these. It's a very good card, but it's not a force-worthy card in my experience. Okay, Petal. I have 3 Pyroblasts in my deck. And I have lots of cards I can cast for 1 blue mana. Like Plagon, like Tommy. Or I can just continue to draw these lands. My goodness. You're seeing this, right? Like, that's 7 lands out of 18, 17 in the deck. It sucks. Okay, and this looks like they're doing something that actually has to be countered here. I'm not gonna try to get lucky with Aang. Yeah, we're just well, I could put this in, push this out of the way. They can recast it immediately after I fetch. I could fetch a basic force. It's not worth it letting them do that. Yeah, we just have to hope they don't have interaction, but they probably do. Like a Pyroblast, and it puts me out of my misery. I was hoping to get a strong league, but man, yeah, good games. They had it covered so many different ways. Like, we'll see what they put in, but unless they were just bluffing. But why would they even bother? Yeah, land, sure. Look at my many lands. Okay. All right. I am on the draw against an unknown opponent from Houston, Texas. I'm in Plano, Texas, which is about 4 hours drive. This is fine. It's a good, fair hand. We've got a clear progression to turn to Plagon if we want it, but we'll probably want to get some more stuff on the table. Uh-oh. This is the big mana deck. How do we beat the big mana deck? We beat it in the sideboard. We don't beat it main deck, unfortunately. It's just too fast, too hard. So we're going to open this way, and then we do have the option of Plagoning if we really need to find a force. Oh, they have it. They have the... Oh, Fleshraker. Already. Okay, so they're on Karnforge. They're not on the 12-post deck. Right. Second Plagon. I think we beach here just to max the likelihood of drawing. They have Karn in their deck, so Tamio's not a particularly strong card anyway. Against, well, yeah, I think I just want to Plagon and draw 2 cards. I think it's better than playing a Tamio that will eventually flip. I have another Plagon if I need it. I'm going to play all non-basics here. This does stop them from attacking, which isn't necessarily a big concern. They could K-command one of my creatures, but they don't. Okay, that's great. I'll do that next turn. So I am glad I Plagoned here because we got closer to an answer to this problem. But the real problem is the fact that they have 4 mana. We're not playing any sort of mana disruption in our deck. My theory is that you just need to lock down their card draw offering. 6 mana. Oh, they have the freaking thing. Okay, I'm going to play it out. I don't think there's a way we can win. What I'll do here, if they can exile this, then things would get really bleak, but they're merely drawing a card here. 3 mana. I think we probably lost. I think this is like extremely difficult to win. Yeah, we're very dead. Okay. I think it's very difficult to win this game 1. So I have respected it in the board. We're going to bring in Force Negations, all of them. We're going to bring in all of our Narsets. We're going to bring in all of our Consigns. I'm going to take out all my Plows. I'm going to take out all of my Prismatic Endings. You might think like, oh, Prismatic Ending is really good because you can hit the keys, but like it's not good enough in my opinion. I think Spell Pierce is also pretty mediocre here because they have so much mana, and yeah, I don't want to play it. Teferi is pretty good. It shuts off K command. It's a lot of mana. I'm not sure that Aang is good because his whole thing is exiling things. Like they do play Urza Sagas though, and it can exile a construct that can never come back. They're not going to be playing non-basics, so I always cut my planes in these types of matchups because we just need like a single green source and our dorks start coming out. And by the way, if you know the meaning of the word dork, it originates, I don't know why that was the word that they chose to represent mana producing creatures. I do have to make some cuts here. Narset is way stronger than Teferi just because of the One Ring. It's hard for them to interact with either of these. I actually want to keep all my mana dorks in because it's really important that I have a quick Narset. I think since we're bringing in all these cards, I'm going to bring those in out because I don't really want to tap out for Teferi. Oh, Tamio's pretty bad in the matchup. I think I'm going to take her out. I'll bring one of these back in. I'll go 2 and 1 again because Karn shuts off your clues. It's a really big problem. Huh. Maybe I just go down to 1 and I play these, and I'm really just trying to high roll into a powerful turn 2 planeswalker. I think that's the way I win. Consign is not as good as Force Negation in the sense that you have to keep mana up. This is a turn 2 halfling if we find a land. This is an insane hand. It doesn't have a force, but it's good. And worst case scenario, we can ponder, probably find a land, turn 2, and then hold up Consign for a turn. Right? So let's drop our dude. By the way, this is a perfect example why dual lands are so important, and I probably won't be doing like a no reserve list version of this deck. That's fine. I don't go after the keys, I go after the monoliths. Land, please. Prismatic Ending. Is it worth killing that? I don't think it is. I'd rather probably just hold up Consign. Let's ponder. This maxes the chances of finding a land. We don't find a land. I am going to shuffle this because this is more of the same. It's tempting to take the force, but really we do need to find a land to advance our game state. Okay, we got a force anyway. I'll just attack for 1 and we'll hold up force and we're just chilling. You could say, oh, you took out the land. It's true. But actually, yeah. This is what you go after. This produces a lot of mana. I'm going to pitch a Brainstorm here because the other cards represent more than one card, like Plagon, Narset, and yeah, that's fine. And that's why you go after the... they have a lot more keys than they have monoliths usually, although they are playing Basalt. So I think they probably have like 6. Okay, there we go. So I am going to go ahead and just put Narset on the table. Just in case they One Ring. They may. They do have 4 mana. And then this might be able to dig me to a force effect. Ding, ding, ding. And I will take this force. Grudgingly. I mean, I'd love to take the Teferi too, but yeah, it's force. So now we force, pitch, consign, and we can draw 2 with Plagon, and we have a win con on the table. Plagon is how we generally close these games. Okay, that is a problem. We have ending to kill one of them, but that won't be able to kill at instant speed. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to keep this around. They can do this during their turn, so they still get cards. It's not as good as Bowmasters in the sense that, like, you can kind of cheat. Okay. I think here... And if they ever get rid of this, the game is over, basically. So I have the option of pondering. I think I actually just consign the ability to make dudes here. I'm going to take... My hand's fine. I don't need to change anything about it. I'll take the ponder. I take Brainstorm when I need to change stuff, but I'm fine with playing out a land here. I'm going to go ahead and Plagon. They are like in Planeswalker territory, sadly. Okay, another consign. Not bad. So I'm definitely just going to consign this trigger and hopefully force, like, yeah, they have 5 mana currently. They're going to draw. So I will consign this trigger right here. I have to respect the constructs. I can't necessarily kill them. Okay, now they have the freaking Planeswalker mana. I'm going to stop this. I can attack it to death. No, I'm going to stop it. And I'll hold up Consign for the rest of the game. This is just the one turn I tapped out to get Plagon on. Now they're going to take 3 each turn, which will take a very long time to kill them, but they're also taking damage from their One Ring. They still have 4 mana. They could still do something disgusting here. Oh, no, they only have 5. They can't play the big guy, the Ugin. We'll see what this last card in their hand is. I think they were going to K-command one of my dudes. Okay, Plagon 2. The rematch. The grudge match. I don't know what I'm saying. I think I still don't want to end. I'm going to just hold this in case they get one of these, or if they get some really powerful thing out of there. Like a Pithing Needle actually could shut off Plagon's ability to beat them down. So what I'll do here is I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug. I'll come in for a hug for 5. And then I'm just going to buff both. Blue, they don't have any hasty beats, so I can trust that Narset's not going to die this turn. I don't think they have hasty beats. I could be mistaken and suffer like G did. Now they're thinking about K-commanding. Hopefully they K-command this. I will let the K-command resolve. Because I need to stop the Ugin. That's the one card I think they can win from here. Other than them ripping another Urza Saga. That would also potentially kill me. Okay. So we're doing 5. No? Okay. Yeah, they're going to K-Command here. They do get to look at 3 cards here. But again, I have another Plagon coming next turn. I'll probably draw a land, so I'll be able to hold up Consign plus trigger. They know about the Consign. I genuinely am so scared. They get to look at 3 cards and then draw a card. I mean, it's like such a blowout to Consign. Oh, yeah, this means they can't use their One Ring, though. I think I let it go. And by the way, Plagon in a K-Command deck is really sick. Like I saw somebody doing that once. That's the only positive thing I'll ever say about Kozilek Command is it pairs well with Plagon. I still hate the card. Okay, so they lose a life. I do need to fetch here. I'm going to do it before the search trigger. They're floating a mana. Let's go get a Tundra. Okay. Research Desk. It's a good card. So they're getting lots of card selection even though I've got my Narset on, unfortunately. By the way, if you're curious how they topped, they kept 1 top and they bottom 2. They do have another freaking Urza Saga. I think that's probably the card they kept. Oh, it sucks. They can make it unblockable too, so they can definitely kill Narset. Okay, we're going to go ahead and Plagon here. I'm going to go like this because there's a chance that I find a... I would need a... What would I need to find here? Yeah, I'm not planning to Prismatic anything. They can't generally counter spells, so I don't need to care about the colorless or the uncounterability. Oh, they're going to K-Command here. This is a giant K-Command. I will stop this. Unfortunately, I have to. And now I'm vulnerable to the thing. They just ripped too well. Yeah, because they would get so much card selection. So now I have to draw like a land and a counterspell to survive. I'm not going to be able to consign this trigger anymore, but I'm not going to let them do this a second time. Because that would be like 5 looks. They'd be able to stack a significant portion of the next few turns. So we get our draws. Unfortunate. I definitely should have tapped this. That is extremely unfortunate. Like I thought I would draw a land, but it makes sense that like I've already pulled enough land. So that was a punt. I do want to attack them for 1 here. But now they know that like if they find the Ugin, that's just game, basically. So I will kill one of these things. No, I won't be able to. They're definitely going to be able to get out from under Narset here. Because what they do, like unless I find a plow, they can just give unblockability to it. I mean, I could just exile that. And then, yeah, everything's bad. They've got so much mana. They could freaking Emrakul me at this point. I'm not exaggerating. This is 9, 10, 11, 12. They couldn't. I am exaggerating. Okay. All right. So options. I think the thing to do is just to play out the Halfling. Get rid of the unblockability key. But then we still have to deal with the damn permanent. I think I do want to hit them. But they can make a huge blocker. So I'm not going to hit them this turn. I'm just going to chill with my mana up. And then what I want to do is try to find a plow. The next turn I can replay and I'll just block here. Okay, they're going to make it their dude. That's fine. This is a forced negation and another halfling. I actually think this is maybe okay. So I prismatic end this one since they did that. Now I don't have to find plow. And I still have prismatic ending, or I still have consign up. I can't... Wait, I can actually play the halfling this turn. Okay, I'm going to do that. Wait, can I? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this now, rather than the keys. And I do want to hold up consign, so I can't play the second dude yet. I guess I could have attacked... Yeah, I could have attacked for 1. I think they may have done it after my attack step. I can't remember. Okay, so they get to search here. They can shut off Plagon with the Pithing Needle if they want. Creating another construct. Searching. Again, I'm just living in fear of the Ugin, basically. It just completely solos me. With the One Ring out, they haven't been tapping the One Ring. They've been very deliberate with their One Ring. So now I have, I think, just a few more Prismatic Endings in my deck that deal with this, and that's it. I didn't take any out, but I didn't bring one in. Yeah, I don't have any plows in my deck, so I was hoping for a plow. I've got 2 more Prismatic Endings in my deck. This is 4 mana. Okay, red mana. What's red do? Oh, there's that unearthing. That's fine. Okay, they get to find another card. So this is a 2-for-1 that plays around Narset. If I find my other... Like, this is the same freaking game. No, wait, this isn't the same game that I pitched Teferi. So if I find Teferi... how many Teferis do I have? I have 1. I have 2 Teferis. If I find a Teferi, I can bounce this out of play. Okay, they're untapping these. They're going to make a ton of mana. But it won't matter because I'm going to just consign whatever one spell they cast here. Unless they cast like a Karn followed by something else. Unfortunately, I think I actually have to let this go. This can go find the portable hole, but that can't take out any of my meaningful permanents here. I mean, sadly, I just let this go. The other card is like too scary. Because they do have the mana still to play the Ugin. And that, like, maybe I'm over-indexing on Ugin, but like if they do a giant K command, I will stop that. That's a lot of mana, friend. That plus is this. They can turn... See, untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1. They can actually kill me with the One Ring potentially here. It has been in play, so they could use that plus ability on the One Ring and attack, and I'd have to chump. Okay. Research desk is exiled. Okay. And the card in exile was probably, yeah. Let's see what we can do here. Force negation. So I think we just have to... I think I'm going to go ahead and... Because this is dead to the Manifold Key. I'm going to go ahead and do this just to max the draws. Blue. 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 Let's draw as many cards as we can here. I need a land and it's a fairy. I'll keep this one that's not summoning sick. If we draw 4 cards. Okay, wow, that's lucky. And that's very important. So I can continue to hold up interaction here. I do have to end that. I do want to hold up Consign. I would love to attack them. However, I think it's important to hold up Consign for the trigger and the thing. Because again, Narset is everything here. She is the reason we're still alive. If they attack here, I'll just chump the One Ring if they use that ability. Okay, they are using the One Ring's ability. So that ups our clock a little bit. I cannot address... Like, if you haven't played against this deck, you don't understand how much work Narset is doing. We would have been dead like 4 turns ago from the One Ring. They would have been able to key, and we would have, like, it would have been inevitable that we'd lose. I don't think that this is the fight. They can create a bunch of bodies on the ground, but I can attack them in the air with Aang. And I actually am close to... I can flip Aang. Aang has trample. I don't care about this. I'll let them have a new One Ring. All I care about is the giant planeswalker. This is taking up Tezzeret. Tezzeret can ultimate and do some pretty disgusting things. What I want to do is next end step, Aang, and then go ahead and flip him. And then attack. And everything, like, that'll do a lot of damage, and my entire board will be huge. Okay, Teferi's a great rip. I'm going to go ahead and fetch now. Just get the lands out of my deck. I don't want to draw them. Blue. I can just keep these untapped. I think I can just bounce this back to their hand so they have to recast it. They're One Ring. That's fine. They get their card. Yeah, I'll just bounce this back to hand. I've got 2 Aangs now. There's no point in... Oh, wait. I can attack Tezzeret. Let's do that. I could attack him with all these. And then he's dead. I think that's worth doing. This does mean I can't Aang this turn cycle, but I think it's probably okay. Leave a comment with a timestamp if you disagree with this play. But okay, so he blocks that, and then oh no, I have to tap out to kill him. I'm gonna do it. I'm just like I technically, yeah, this will kill him. They may have another one, but I technically have. I do have to tap out. I have force negation up. I don't know. I feel like I've already committed to this. They actually get to keep this spawn, unfortunately. But he's dead. Yeah, if they have it, then I can't consign anymore. I just don't have enough mana. Maybe that was not the play. And there's so many little decisions, and you make one wrong decision, and you just completely get destroyed, unfortunately, in this matchup. The deck is so damn powerful. Plus Tricker's back out. I just don't want them to have Ugin. Okay, it looks like they don't have Ugin. Well, we got super lucky. I punted, and I wasn't punished. Okay, Tamio's fine. We can take this up. Tamio attacks in the air. Let's see. We could just attack them for a lot. 7. I think that's the play. They don't have good blocks. Okay. So I will get them lower here. Oh, I'm not going to bother killing this thing. They dropped to 3. They're going to drop to 2 here. We have Aang who can come in and save, stop Narset. They put an extra thing on him. Okay. I think they're dead. They could one ring to ring walk for a turn. I may force that actually. Yeah, they scoop. All right. That was hard fought. Their hand is like a nothing with lands. Okay. So I do think we maybe want to bring another prismatic ending in. I mean, I'm kind of cool with taking Tommy out completely. She's so brittle. And the debuff doesn't do anything. If you don't ultimate her, she just doesn't do anything in this matchup. I'm going to take her out. And the reason for that is Karn shutting down the clues. And they have K command, so it's very easy for them to exile her. They don't have a lot of ways of pressuring her. It just doesn't feel right, though. Like when we have cards like these. All right, we're bringing the heat with this freaking hand. This is insane. So I'm keeping this for sure. And we're just going to try to hierarch into a Narset again. That worked last game. Monolith. There's certainly a temptation to go after this, but they've already got the Ancient Tomb out. I think I want to stop an actual business spell here. And I'll be pitching the Teferi. Okay, they didn't have a business spell. That doesn't mean they won't have one next turn. They could have the Ugin for all we know next turn. As crazy as it is, turn 2 Ugin is a possibility. It's not just a possibility. I'd say there's a pretty good chance of it. Now I can force negate it, and that will tap out their Grim Monolith, but if they have a key or if they have another soul land, I can't stop this. So I will prismatic end it immediately, I think. It's so strong that I think it might be more powerful than trying to put an Narset on. Also, I need to be able to remove it from play to be able to block. Yeah, I think this is a prismatic end. If they one ring here, I'll definitely force it. Just because they'll get so much mana out of it by the time my Narset hits. Or so they'll get so many cards. Maybe that's not true, because I could Narset next turn. They attack Narset for 2. And then they're only able to get 1 card from the one ring. Soul Guide Lantern, I don't care. But that is a trigger. That shouldn't be in their deck. We don't use our graveyard for anything. Like, we haven't shown them any graveyard interaction the entire time. Okay, Mystic Forge. This works on an axis that's different. Okay, we take a ping. Different from Narset, so it does need to go. But I am hopeful that we'll stick to Narset 2 turns from now and they won't have enough gas. We'll see. But I'm taking out Flesh Trigger stat. That's a great rip. White, blue, green. Bye-bye, Eldrazi. We're getting insane rips, and we need them. We need them in this matchup. Come on, don't play a bomb so I can stick a Narset. I really want a Narset. If they one ring, I probably just let it go, unfortunately. Okay, they're cracking through this. They don't have Metalcraft, so that just produces 1. All right, this is Karn. They got 1 card left in hand. How much do I trust the top of my deck? I don't have a way to remove Karn at all in my 70. Like, I can't attack him. I feel like this has to be a force, unfortunately. I'm really sad. I really wanted Narset to go. Maybe we find a Narset. We've got a lot of live draws, Plagon, but there's like, they can easily just lattice lock us next turn. All right, come on, deck. Okay, Ponder, you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've got colored off that. Come on, let's find that. This is a shuffle. I mean, it sucks, but it is a shuffle here. I need to find a bomb. Consign is good. All right, so I will just attack for 1 and pass. They are using their life total as a resource. This is a meaningful attack. So we really just have 1 answer. How many questions do they have for us? That's not a question I care to answer. Okay. All right, let's ponder. Let's find that Narset. Narset will blow it open. These are great cards, but they're reactive. Plagon! There we go. Good boy. Let's draw some cards. We're tapping out of Consign here. I do have a land drop. I made the land drop. That is huge. And I have Replagon if I need it, but I definitely want to get more dorks out before I do that. Gotta get those dorks out. So if they have 1, 2, 3, oh, they have Metalcraft. So yeah, we're dead basically to the Ugin if they find it. I don't care about mana. You have an arbitrarily large amount of mana. That's fine. Okay, they don't have it. They could just be holding like a K command. Okay, this feels good. Force negation. That's a good draw. I'm going to chill on the Plagon. Again, I want to get like a big draw. They should block here. There's no sense in taking this damage. Right, they don't. So now I have 2 points of interaction up. Noble Hierarch is really good in this deck. Like I was kind of like, oh man, Bowmasters is everywhere. But I've been very happy with Hierarch the past week or 2 that I've been playing this deck. 4 mana. Okay, what does this do? Start your engines. Non-land permanent. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I'd actually be much more sad if they took my Hierarch. Yeah. Okay. They didn't take my Hierarch. Okay. Uh-oh. Yep, that's a counter spell. I'm going to counter with Force Negation. Ouch. I just gave them some speed. So let's grab a Tundra here. I'll grab a Trop. Consider playing 4 of this card. Is all I'm saying right now. I'm playing the full 4 and it's pretty good. Okay. We have Plagon. Mana to work into Plagon? No. So I think we just go like this. We have lots of options. We've already got the land in hand. We have our win con on the table now. That's a good rip. Okay. And I am going to attack for 1 here. Every point of damage matters here. And I should fetch here just to keep them off the speed. I'm going to, well, I mean, in the end step, I could brainstorm, shuffle away this land. I think it's worth waiting. I don't care about max speed that much. All right. My opponent does not seem to have anything going on. Okay, there is a risk that they like K command, do a giant K command while I'm tapped out. I'm not going to brainstorm now. It's a very minor thing, but I don't want them to have a window where they could K command and stack their deck. Okay, they're going to K command now. They said all this format is forces, huh? And I said, because of your deck. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to start with the brainstorm just in case I find another mana dork. Okay, my opponent said they just started playing and they've seen nothing but 8x forces. Welcome to Legacy. Again, I want to emphasize this is because of degenerate decks like yours. You're forcing us. I would love to play Death and Taxes, but I will not be playing Death and Taxes because I don't like getting just destroyed. I like agency. So we'll just grab this Tundra here. We did get some good cards. We're going to come in for a hug. Okay, and they are going ahead and blocking, but I do need to kill this thing, so I will. Okay. Oh, actually, I didn't need to pay that mana. That was a waste of mana. Okay, I'll play this out, and then I can just chill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're very close to flipping Aang, but I don't think it's going to be necessary this game. Our opponent doesn't seem to have anything going on, so I'll just hold Aang as interaction just in case. Like, Aang hitting a K command is chef's kiss, if we can do that. Okay, so now we have a land we want to put back. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm now. Okay, prismatic endings, but I'd rather put back these lands. Prismatic ending doesn't really matter here either. Let's go ahead and hug. And we just have one more turn of this, and then we win. My opponent's playing very well for somebody who just started playing Legacy yesterday, but maybe they play other formats. Okay, Fleshraker. This does produce blockers, but I would hate for this to be bait. The responsible thing to do is just chill. Wait, did I forget to flip the power and toughness? Why did they... Oh, did they block last turn? Yeah, they did. Okay, this is fine. So they are going to create a bunch of blockers, but I'm just going to let them. If they have a 0-drop, they do. That is fine. I'm just going to do slow and steady. Again, I don't want to lose because I'm dumb. I'm going to lose because I didn't get the cards that I needed to win. I don't want it to be my fault that I lost. So I'll kill the Fleshraker next turn with a prismatic ending. And I'm just going to hold the Aang just as, like, again, just to be extremely careful against their extremely broken deck. Okay, we shuffled. Okay, forces are going to rip. So I'll just go ahead and end this now in case they try to do something. Ending is great. It's a great card. It's a great reason to be playing white. It's so flexible. Okay, so I don't need to pay mana here because it's already got 1 toughness if they block. Okay, they block. Right, we'll just chill. Lots of interaction up. Mystic Forge. They have so much mana, I don't think Aang makes sense here. I don't think that they're just sandbagging the Planeswalker, but I'm going to play like they are. Like that they're, like, always be, generous and charitable to your opponents, in my experience. They did hit max speed there. I don't think it matters. What does this do? Put a +1/+1 counter on target. Okay, yeah, that's fine. They said, LOL, what do you expect? What do you expect? I am playing 8 forces and 4 consigns, and I will not apologize for it. Okay, Narset probably closes the door here. Okay, I'll just take another consign. This is even better than force. So I've got 2 consigns. I've won the game. It's just mechanically executing everything. There's no way they can overcome what I've done. They said, good games. I don't know about this, lol. All right, our opponent often plays 8 cast and Eldrazi. We have a double force hand. I think it's good against that. I'm going to open with the Noble Hierarch. And then I'm going to hope that we get to keep him around so we can dig for a 3-drop. By the way, my deck is all 1-drops and 3-drops. I actually looked into playing like that creature, Kibosh or whatever his name is, but he's black-red. So it's like the 2 colors that I can't use are the colors that he is. And yeah, I don't think they're on Moonstompy. I definitely could have, if I did, I would have fetched a force there. I don't care about them going after my lands. I've got lots of lands. Okay, so they're on some sort of degenerate combo that we probably can't interact with, except we can interact with Aang. But we need to hurry. I'm going to go ahead and do this first. No, I'm going to fetch first because I may want to keep both. I'm always torn as to whether... Like, leave a comment with a timestamp if you like to always fetch before you ponder. I don't think that white's going to be a really useful color here. We have more white if we need it. This is Plagon and Halfling, so I'm going to Halfling and then I'm going to Plagon. And I would love to shuffle away that Plow. That's probably not going to do anything in this spell-based matchup. I'll hit for 1. Plagon will draw 3 cards uncounterably. Pretty good. Hopefully they feel... Oh, what? This is counterable. I don't care. I've got Plagon coming. Plagon is great against Tomio, by the way, because Tomio debuffs the attack power. Well, Plagon uses defense as a weapon. And I have a Tommy, I'll just keep the blue up. Yeah, I'm not sure what our opponent's on over there, but they're about to get their Tommy plowed. All right, that's pretty good. We were very far ahead. I do think that what are they on? These two lands don't make any sense in context with one another. Could it be that like Karnforge has adopted this technology? Okay, potential of calamity. You may exile a card of that type from among them. Put the rest in. You may cast a spell from among them. Okay, so this is just like a 1 mana. Like, look at the top card, basically, and draw it. Okay, they reveal an island. All right. So I don't think that's a very good card unless you have a ton of mana out, which our opponent didn't. Teferi seems solid. We don't have any targets, but with the number of forces, I mean, unfortunately, yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play him and just draw deeper into my deck. I guess I could just not use him. Yeah, I might as well use him. I'm going to just target nothing. I could target Plagon again, but I don't think this... I think I am going to plus him, and then I'll target Plagon next turn after I attack, so I can replay him. Seems pretty solid. We have so many cards in hand, but... So we're doing 4 damage here. Not bad. For a card that drew us 3 cards as well. This is a sick-looking island. Delta. I should force this. I don't normally force it, but I've got so many cards, and I'm about to draw a ton. Okay, Spell Pierce is another good card. So I'm going to go ahead and go to combat. Attack here. I will buff. We'll take 4. Bounce this back to hand. We drew another force. Not bad. I'll go ahead and play Plagon again. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these cards, but I need him back on the table so I can hit next turn. That sucks that I didn't hit a land. I'll just discard the plow, and I guess I discard the hierarch. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, it would have ramped up our plan, but like it would suck to lose because I'm like not able to force 4 times or whatever. Okay, and this is a force. I'm just going to force anything. Crush their spirits. Next turn I can also have Spell Pierce up. We've gotten lucky in that they haven't had, like if they're probably an Omniscience deck. Oh, another Plagon. Yeah, I actually think I'll play that. Okay, let's flip the power and toughness here. Okay, and I will just re-Plagon. And I should draw some blue cards and hopefully a land. Land would be very nice. Keep the untapped one. Okay, I got a land and I got a halfling. This is all good. Does the halfling matter? Not really. I can't kill them next turn if I play the halfling. I'm just going to chill with more stuff up. Wait, if I play the Tommy, I can kill them next turn. Because Tommy is like a flip Delver with Plague It Out. Okay. So as long as they can't fight through double force, we win. No thanks. And they can't counter this. Good game. Okay. So that felt good. Another 1-ring deck. Get in my deck! Narset. Force of Negations. Come on in. I'm not sure about Consign. It does stop 1 ring. They're playing Tamio. I'm going to take the plows out. I don't know that it's worth going up on negations. I'll trim a land like I've been doing. I don't expect like a Harbinger or anything out of them, but they could have it. Tamio is fine here because they're not a Karn deck, I don't think. They could be a Karn deck, but I doubt it. Usually it's either a 12-post deck or a Karnforge deck, but the central card that they're abusing is the 1 ring, just like my deck is abusing Tamio. I want to be clear, like when I criticize the 1 ring, I will be very disappointed if only the 1 ring or Tamio exits the format. They both need to exit the format. They're warping it, but it's not as bad as Entomb and Naughty were. Spell Pierce, they're a big mana deck. I think I can just take these out. It feels weird to take them out, but yeah, Aang's so good. Yeah, and then we we're gonna try to be faster than we were in the previous matchup because we can hang back all day when they have Mistries out, but we can't hang back all day when they have or we can't hang back all day with Mistries, but we can do it against Karnforge. Like we're fine winning on turn 15 against Karnforge, but I think we do want to be winning on like turn 5 or 6. Probably like 8 or 10. Our deck is slow. All right. So I think on the draw, I am going to trim a land. And it's going to be the Plains. That's the least exciting one to draw. And I could bring in a single consign. Yeah, actually, I think I do bring in the consigns here. I'm going to bring all of them in. Because they're probably playing the Ugin. And now I need to decide what I'm going to cut. It's tempting to just cut Prismatic Ending. Because almost everything in their deck is like high mana value. I think I'm going to do that. And then if they do, because they're not going to have Karnforge stuff, like the Urza Saga constructs. If they flip Tamio, I'll just attack her. And Narset will shut off her draw ability. Narset's like a double KO against their deck because it's good against One Ring and Tamio. This is a freaking cracked hand. Snap Keep. So we're going to Halfling immediately, and then we'll have lots of options from there. They mulled the 6. I'm your worst nightmare. I really designed this deck to try to be the worst nightmare. Like, I know that you can play like blue-black tempo, and that's kind of the worst nightmare of most of the combo decks. But I wanted to play a control deck that was also the worst nightmare of the big mana decks. All right, Urza's Tower. So potential of 4 mana next turn. Let's get our Halfling on. Yep, 4 mana. We One Ringing? I'm not going to stop this. I'm going to be tactical. They did mold a 5. So it's possible like I could have denied them land by doing that, but it didn't feel right. Okay, so this is just Plagon for 2, and then we've got a clock. And they are likely playing Force, so this Halfling is likely doing stuff. We have double Force up. We're going to draw 2 cards. Boom! Insane cards. I'll be very disappointed in myself if I lose this game. I feel like we're really far ahead. They do have a ton of mana. If they find Mistrise, that would be our undoing. I don't care about mana. I've just accepted it. You're going to have the mana you need. Okay. Post-combat, they add 2. I will start getting non... Like, actually, this can't get a Plains because I don't have Plains in my deck. I am going to start fighting now. I don't need this Ponder. I've got tons of cards coming. Okay, and they burn off the rest. So really, they didn't actually yield any mana there. All right, so this is... I can replay this, and it is a pain for them. I think that's what I want to do here. Blue, white. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is right. Wait, and this, of course. Yeah, we have to pay 3. Uncounterable. And all subsequent spells shall be uncounterable. Let it be known. Teferi is laying down the law. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and come in, and I will just pay to flip the power and toughness here. And they will get extra mana off their carpet. All right, so now we're not into denying them mana. We're just into denying them cards. They have 6 mana. With the carpet out, they'll have still 6 because they have to pass to the next phase. He's back. So they're going to have 6 mana here. This 1 mana will burn off. So they can't Ugin us yet. But that is on my radar of horrible things that could happen here. Ugin is like unkillable. Like the game is almost certainly over if Ugin resolves, unfortunately. Okay, and this would allow them to cast a card. So we do need to interact with this. I'm going to pitch Aang, I think. Actually, I don't know that it could be good to have this up. Yeah, I'm gonna force pitch Aang. I don't like doing this, but I do think it's correct. I'm gonna try not to play out any more lands. Okay, so here I am gonna play out a land because I need to be able to force. Well, let's see. So I could attack, hit for 3, and then I have 3 up. And then I'll play out the land, but I'm not going to use it. I wanted to hit for 5, but I need to have force negation up just in case. And I can still hit for 5 like next turn, but like we still are not out of the woods yet. Like once we Narset, we'll kind of be out of the woods. If they cast the thing, they'll be able to target one of my things, but I'll still be able to force it. And I basically have to force whatever windmill they put on the stack here. This. They cannot interact with this. It is because of Teferi, thankfully. I don't know what it would be. Probably Emrakul. Like they're actually not that far off from just casting Emrakul. Okay, this is stock up. If they'd cast those in a different order, I would have probably countered the stock up. So maybe that was smart. But maybe that was bait. Maybe they didn't actually have something to put in. Because they have so much freaking mana here. I bet you it is an Emrakul, though. And if Teferi gets back up to 3, then I can just bounce Emrakul back to hand. But if they're casting it from hand, they get a turn. So I won't have the luxury. So show and tell into, like, I guess starting next turn, if I don't minus, and I will keep Teferi around. This is definitely a situation where having a Surveil land in the deck would be way better than right now. Oh, they're stocking up twice. Okay. So if we don't draw a counterspell, if it's a Force of Will, I will just hit with the Plagon. But if it's not something I can cast, like the best draw is Consign. But actually, I think Force of Vigor, Force Negation is probably the best draw. Narset is the best draw. Well, I'm not going to pretend to be strong. I'm just going to hit for max. I will play out the lane, though. Yeah, this sucks. We do have a game 3, though, if we lose. Yeah, I think we're almost certainly going to lose. Like, there are so many scary cards. Even like a One Ring would be a big deal at this point. The 3 mana, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're very close to Emrakul. Okay, they're just going all out on a K command here. Oh, Omniscience, just hard cast. I can bounce it to hand next turn if you can't win now, but you're probably going to win now, right? One Ring. Okay. They got protection. And if I bounce... Oh, yeah. Okay, we're done. They're just going to get... well, we can see what they get. Yeah, sure. Resolve it. Okay, Tom. It's going to get 4 or 3 Emrakuls probably. Cutting Wish. Okay, well, I don't need to wait. Okay, so Omnitell. Big mana deck. I cut lands and I still drew a ton of lands. I feel correct. Like it is correct to take Prismatic Ending out. I think we just had to run it back. I'm really disappointed that I just saw so many lands. But that's how the game works. Like I understand that like every other game that's come after Magic has figured out some way to not be reliant on this clunky mana system where you're getting flooded or screwed half the time. But I will argue that like that's what gives Magic its skill expression. Like Magic is so much more interesting than a game like Hearthstone where there's no. I mean, maybe there's a stack, but like I don't know if you can interact in real time. I don't, and there's like just a really simple mana system. Back in the day, that like World of Warcraft card game. If anybody remembers that the big deal was you could like play any card down, like face down as a land if you needed to. I mean, I wouldn't trade the Mana Screw and the Mana Flood, but it is frustrating when it happens, especially when like otherwise things are going great and then you just draw land 3 times. Okay, let's play. It's possible that I should have brought the planes in since they're on carpet. This is a really solid hand. It doesn't have stack interaction, but I can Forest, Halfling, Plague next turn. I think what I'll do is I'll Forest Halfling, and then I will hold up a land so that I can consign, and I want to get like a big Plague. Like 3. If I draw a Narset, I will jam Narset though. Mistrise. Scary. We got to win fast or this game will end. So does that change anything? Am I still just jamming? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jam both Halfling and Tamio. Yeah, while still holding up Consign and still denying them any carpet mana if they try to carpet next turn. Yeah, this is going great. Like this is an incredible draw. But we are missing stack interaction. Once Tamio flips, I can just kill him with Tamio flipping. But unfortunately, I'll never have an answer to Mistrise. There's not one in my 75. Oh no. Show and tell already. Right. Well, we're going to play again here. We'll draw 4 cards. Okay. We can't cast any of this stuff. Tommy flips. They have Omni. They have 3 cards left. I can force this. Or consign it, rather. I think I have to. And then we have to hope that the rest of their hand is like lands. But they moved way faster than I expected them to, unfortunately. If I just had a few more turns to set up, I think I'd be fine. But it's not looking good. Yes. Go off, King. You dropped this. My goodness. We had an insane hand, but it didn't have a force in it. I don't put like they've won. They can stock up into, whatever. There's no way we're winning this. Yeah, good game. All right, it looks like we're up against another combo gamer. Fan of the channel though. So the question is this turn 2 Teferi good enough? If they're on Karnforge, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it. I think this is fine. It is more lands than I would like in my 18 land deck. Come on, deck. I am going to go ahead and hierarch and just try to carry out my game plan unless they could be on like Oops All spells. They're mulling to 5, but they were most recently on Karnforge, which I dread that match because it just takes so long because they've got so many 1-rings and stuff. At least the Omni, it was over quickly. All right. So not Karnforge. Oh, a Reanimator with the natural freaking drag Savan. Okay. So now we might need to hold up Spell Pierce here, sadly. My instinct is to just hold up Spell Pierce just in case they have the Reanimator because I don't want to lose. And it'll suck if I don't get to develop my board. Thoughtseize. I am going to Thoughtseize this. I don't want them to know that my shields are down. If they watch the channel, like I am famous for having tons of counter spells in my deck. And they may respect that. And also this green is going to signal to them, oh, they've got freaking Endurance. Which I'm not playing Endurance in this deck, but I have been playing Endurance some. Okay, they don't have a land. So lucky. All right. And this could be that they're on like Omni Shell, like in not Reanimate, and they just, but like I'm going to respect and pretend that they're on Reanimate here. So this is just a hierarch. You know what? I'm going to further cement that I have Endurance in my deck by playing this Trop Out. They could be on the Max Torsion deck. That plays Underground Sea and also Reanimation effects. So I think we let this go. I would really like the Teferi. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm in response. All right, so I definitely don't want these lands. I think I just let them take my Teferi, sadly. I am going to redraw. I don't want this island. Yeah, it's not worth like hiding Teferi here, in my humble opinion. It's not that good of a card. They may take the Ponder anyway, but they should take the Teferi. Because I could just Teferi plus and then like bounce Atraxa back to hand. They may take the Plow if they're about to Atraxa me. They did take the Teferi. Okay. So I'm going to immediately fetch and then I'm going to Ponder. I'll get a Tundra this time. Looking for Plagon. Looking for stack interaction, really. Plagon's great. I think we wait a turn with the Halfling. If we play with the Halfling, I just want to max the size of Plagon. If they Atraxa, I will be able to plow it before they get to draw their cards. I'm going to keep this up just out of respect, like in case they have days. It may seem like, oh, you're not doing a lot, like your opponent's not doing a lot. Why are you freaking out? Like if Atraxa comes into play, it's massive swing. They're likely to get like 6 cards off of her. It's like a one-sided Wheel of Fortune. Unmask, targeting me. This resolves. Just clearing the Plow, probably. So they are on just like straight up Reanimate. Putrid Imp. Oh, okay, this isn't that bad. Okay. Don't have any land? Okay, thank goodness. Yeah, they're on Reanimate for sure. This is a discard outlet. Okay. So here, I might need to shuffle. I'm going to go blue. Blue. Let's go like this. I can end this. It's probably worth doing. I don't know that I'm going to have many other targets for ending here. Draw 3 cards. Oh my goodness. Am I crazy or am I like the most prone to draw lands player ever? Ever. I'm using hyperbole here. I am going to immediately brainstorm these back. I'm sorry, but like, what the heck? Okay, and those are not lands. I'm very happy about that. Okay, and so we've got our plowback. I think this is just an ending, and then maybe... yeah, I'll keep the brainstorm up. But I don't want them to... Like, if they're going to discard more cards, I want them to have to do it now. Okay, and they discard an Archon as well. Scary. And we'll just chill. So we are going to be sure to shuffle before we draw so we don't have to deal with all those lands. They have another one. That's fine. I'm not too worried about this 1/1. It doesn't have Death Touch, right? Sometimes like they didn't used to call it Death Touch. So at the bottom of the card, it'll say, creature's blocking to die or something like that. I can't remember the wording. Okay, so we're going to fetch here. I'm so glad. Brainstorm. This is the answer to getting flooded, is Brainstorm. It's not necessarily the answer to getting screwed, but it is the answer to getting flooded. So I will be holding this for a long time because my hand is fine. Got a Tundra here. Let's take our draw. All right, Aang is great. So now we can essentially just get whatever spell they cast out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and play this out. Am I? Does it matter? I'm pretty close to flipping. Yeah, I'm like 1 away from flipping. I can smush. Does it really matter? I don't think it matters. I'm just going to keep the possibility of Aang up. They can still block, but I think it loses the ability to block. Yeah, if it gets big enough. Okay. I will go ahead and just buff. I love Plagon. I'm not sure if he's still going to be playable once Tomio gets banned, which I expect to happen in 4 months. This is fine. Is this fine? So when they flash it back and I Aang it, I think it might get shifted out of the way. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let it happen. And then when they flash it back, I'll Aang this out of play so I can redo it next turn and refill my hand. I'm glad we get to play against one fair deck, even if the rest of the league was just going to be combo. They may know that there's a plow in our hand. I don't think they do. They name Force. Okay. Pewter Nymph isn't really doing anything here. They already have their targets in the graveyard. It would make sense to go ahead and therapy here. Also, there's no way they have an additional mana. Okay, yeah. So what I'm going to do is Aang. There's no way they have an additional mana and a reanimation effect, so I'm definitely safe this turn. Okay, and let's scoop to that. Yeah, I was going to put Aang out, or put Plagon out and draw 4. Draw 5, actually. So, against this deck, I think Force Negation is pretty good. I'm going to take out the Prismatic Endings. They probably have Tomio, but I have Plow. And as I've established, like, I'm pretty good at stopping that. I think we do bring in all 4 Force Negation for this matchup, just out of respect. They are unlikely to be going after our lands. So this is another matchup where I'm going to take out the plains. And we're on the draw. So like you only need 17 land on the draw. Unless you're up against like a Wasteland deck. And by the way, the reason I always take out plains is I do want to reliably cast a turn 1 mana dork, and Force can do that. The only card in my 75 that can't do, or the only land now is the island. Everything else casts turn 1 mana dork. I could bring in Narset. Like, I don't think she's necessarily good enough here, but like they're likely playing Careful Study, so it is good against that. And yeah, let's see. It's a blue card. I think I could take out some Hierarchs because there's a possibility that they're playing. Yeah, I think I'll do it like that. I'm going to keep my Plows in just in case one of them escapes from the graveyard. I feel pretty good about this matchup, though. Like, the whole point of playing a blue mid-range deck instead of just playing Death and Taxes, which I alluded to earlier as being like in a world where there's not combo everywhere, Death and Taxes is the de facto best deck. I think this has enough interaction, and it's got a turn 1 Tomio with the Brainstorm combo. I'm going to keep it, and I'll probably be sorry, but I will be force pitching a Tamio as a show of strength if they discard me. I can't stop that. Okay. Okay, that makes me a lot better. Now I'm worried about therapy. I probably will just force the therapy. So Trop is definitely the land we get here. And we're going to Tommy. And we'll pass. Next turn we can ponder to find another land drop. Okay, Exhume in the yard. Therapy. I don't think they're going to name Force Negation. I'll be stunned if they do. And then I can just counter it on the flashback. They didn't deem the name Force of Will. I'm waiting for the oof in chat. Come on, give me that oof. I feel like I am playing really tight here. Like, this has been a great league. It didn't work out for us last round. But I feel like this is a really solid deck. I'm proud of this build. Okay, Spell Pierce. I do want to ponder. Maybe it's probably actually correct to just go ahead and get the clock going on Tommy. It'll be very awkward if I Brainstorm Lock. Okay. So here, I think we put back our non-blue card. And we can put back the redundant Tommy. There are situations where it's helpful, like if they have Archon, to have a Tamio out, just so you don't have to sacrifice the Planeswalker. But yeah, I think I'm just going to focus on preventing that from hitting the table. And now we have a Spell Pierce that they don't even know about that joins the fray. So I feel very favored here. We just need to stall for a couple turns and we can win. Okay, they bin the Atraxa. Okay, they're therapying. I'm just going to I'm going to force this because they are going to name Force of Negation. I'm going to pitch a Ponder. And they know that I have a Force Negation still in the bank. Okay, so I have to force this, unfortunately. I am going to hold on to Narset because she is one turn away. No, I'm going to let Narset go, unfortunately. I think that's the safe thing to do. The stylish thing to do is to not do that. And they may have a second reanimation effect here. And this is where our Spell Pierce comes in. Like, we needed every single one of these to survive. Every single one of these cards. Well, we didn't need the Brainstorm, but like, yeah. Scary. And now, unfortunately, instead of trying to Tamio Ultimate, I do need to regrow a Force. If I draw a land, I'll regrow Force of Negation. Okay, Plow. I think I'm going to try for it, because even if they get Atraxa, I can Plow and I can maybe Tamio Ultimate them. Spell Pierce. Freaking insane card, right? Okay, they have another one. All right, so this has to be a Brainstorm into exactly Force. One of our 4 forces. They're hellbent after that. Let's do it. I can Plow if it doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work. Tommy's going back. Plow's going back. I'm redrawing these. I actually want to draw the Tamio rather than the Plow. I mean, it's possible I have to fight through another creature, though. If they find Archon, it's really disheartening because they can kill my Tommy before she can ultimate. Yeah, I think I need to... Yeah, I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm not going to draw the Tommy. The land at least lets me draw deeper into my deck here. So she comes in. They're going to get a bunch of life. They already know about the Plow. They're going to fully refill their hand. You always Plow with this trigger on the stacks before they get the cards. They do need to find another threat and another way to get it in the yard. Trigger. Now we're going to have information about how we need to proceed, whether we can ultimate Tamio or whether we need to chill. There are Archon of Cruelties. They can therapy themselves and they have a reanimate. They can't choose therapy and reanimate, though. So I think we actually dodged. They have Petal, Dark Writ. Yeah, they chose Petal, Dark Writ, Swamp, Reanimate, Archon. Okay, and they're actually not that far from just straight up casting Archon next turn, terrifyingly. He's 8. Did they already play the Swamp? No, they have a Swamp. So they will play Archon next turn. It is going to happen, unfortunately. I don't think there's anything I can do to stop it. And it will kill my Tamio, so I do need a debuff. But unfortunately... yeah, I just take the Force Negation, and then I Force Negation the Dark Ritual. It's really really ugly. There is the small chance of because let's see, 8, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off the dark red. So we need to get the Force Negation back. Force Negation is a good general card anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. All right, do your worst, opponent. And then every Dark Ritual they draw is a potential Archon from here on out. So we get another Tundra here. Blue, blue, blue. I don't think they're playing Daze. We didn't see it. They're like heavily black. They're probably just playing blue for Show and Tell and green for that other combo. But now we do have to worry about Show and Tell too. So the question is, how worried are we about Show and Tell? What is this? Exhume? They don't have anything in their graveyard. Oh, they get a Putrid Imp back. Okay, that's fine. I get nothing. Okay. Oh, they can discard and then they can reanimate. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't think I can win. Wow. Yeah, it is still a deck. And I have to discard this, so we lose. Yep, we lost. Okay. Archon is a beating. The fact that it can be cast off like just black mana. Okay. So any changes we make, we're on the play again. I think we bring back in the planes just so we don't get mana screwed. We did see Gristlebrand. Narcissist very good against that. They probably saw it when I pitched it to Force. I'm going to go down a Plow. I did draw more Plows than I cared to. And the game is functionally over before the Plow matters. We were tapped out, by the way, so we couldn't have plowed with the trigger on the stack. And losing Emrakul, or losing Tomio was a real beating. Okay. Let's try it. I'm hoping Aang can get in and do some work this final round. He was great in round 1. This is insane. I'm going to keep this. I don't expect them to have carpet, but I could lead with Forest. That does tell them that we don't have days. They may have surmised that we don't have days in the first 2 games. It is often correct to just play 1 days just because it's kind of your 5th force of will. And maybe that does make sense. Maybe I should be playing 1 days here instead of the 3rd Spell Pierce. But Spell Pierce has been really solid. So I think our opponent's deck is not that good. And my bet is that like last game was an exceptional game in which they had like a critical mass of interaction spells. And I don't expect that to happen this time. The only ways they have to get creatures into the graveyard are therapying or, discarding themselves, which is never a good idea unless you absolutely have to. And the sync or whatever it's called, the imp, Putrid Imp. No wait, it's not Putrid. Is it Putrid Imp? I can't remember. It's a card that was played in an extended dredge. That's how I know it. Petal. Okay. Scary time. I'm gonna Plagon immediately. Dark Ritual. I'll let it resolve. Thoughtseize. Are we going to die again? Oh, no. If they have the Thoughtseize in there, I could pretend to be strong here. It doesn't change the damn thing, though. They may have Show and Tell. They've already committed to this line. I'm going to let it happen. Maybe I should have countered the Dark Ritual, but that didn't feel right. Oh, they're hitting themselves. Okay, never mind. I got confused. Okay, well, this is the easiest counter spell. I'll pitch one of the Plagons. They may have a second reanimation effect because they still have mana floating. Oh, of course. Of course. I'm so tilted. I feel like this deck is so glass cannony. It's literally Thoughtseizing itself. I don't have words. I don't play Graveyard Hate. Do not watch this and think, oh, I should be playing Graveyard Hate. This is not a deck. This is not a deck. I will tell you. I feel very confident this is not a deck. And if you're like a big fan of Reanimator and you think I'm a hater, I genuinely think that Entomb was the only reason that deck was viable in Legacy. And that what we're seeing here is aberrational. It's like a standard deviation out, maybe. Okay, they chose Thoughtseize, Undercity, Sewers, Archon. Oh no, are they gonna Thoughtseize us and take our Plagon? And now we don't have a clear line to winning. They take the Plagon here. Okay, so they for some reason took the Ponder instead of the Plagon. Like, I'm going to get 2 cards. And I drew a Force. Okay, so we're going to go get the Tundra. Just going to get it out of my deck. And then I'm going to use it. Blue, you can't counter this. Not that you necessarily would. We've got a Force for your next card. And then I'm just going to try to find one of my 3 remaining plows. Or, Aang isn't really going to be good enough here. If they had just waited like 1 turn, we would have been totally fine. But the fact that they were able to go turn 1, yeah, that sucks. And now they're going to have tons of life. They get Spoils of the Vault in. They may have that, the Witherbloom combo. Okay. I mean, we could Tomio Ultimate and Distract. I don't hate that. We're not going to Ultimate. I mean, Tomio and Brainstorm, and that'll distract her from hitting us for a turn cycle. It's not a winning line. The other alternative is if we just Brainstorm into the plow, it's insane. But like, I think the odds of that with 3 in 58 cards, I think we're probably going to have to move stuff around a little bit more than that. She's a blocker. We could block and then flip her. I don't hate that because that keeps them from gaining life and it saves us life for a turn cycle. I think I do that. And this way we also hold up Spell Pierce in case they do have a way to suddenly get Archon out. Currently they have nothing in their graveyard. They should attack before they cast spells, which will take us off Spell Pierce. Okay, they're drawing a lot of lands, which is not bad, assuming they don't get up to like 8 mana somehow. So I'm going to block. Now I'm going to Brainstorm. Okay, and we found the plow. Insane. Absolutely insane. We're so lucky. I don't need this land, but I think I take the land before the Pierce. See, plow, and I won't have the ability to Pierce anyway. Yeah, I will take the land next turn. Because I'm going to need to immediately go to town, like on their life. The good news is they're only at 16, but they're going to go up to 23 here when I plow. So I'll play this out. Plow. I can regrow the plow even if they somehow get the Archon out. Let's start hitting. I will, I guess, hit with both. I should have hit with both. That was a misplay because I have to pay for blue here. All right, so we have Force up. And I'm not going to just like chill and play safe. We need to get their life total down. They're at 19. They still have Show and Tell. They've got lots of things they can do from here. It would be great if I could have held up the mana. I should have just attacked for 1, but like it's not correct. Like we're just trying to buy time. I guess I could have like Tommy ultimated, but okay, there we go. I'm going to let this resolve. Hand is Archon. They find a Show and Tell. They lose some life. Show and Tell. Unfortunately, again, I cannot Spell Pierce here. I will Force. I think blue Force. Show and Tell is the only blue card in their deck, as far as I can tell. Spell Pierce is great. That is precisely the kind of card we need to draw here. I think we do want to keep going north with Tomio. I could go ahead and grab the Force and just keep hitting them. I actually think that's fine. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Okay, and now we're going to attack for the full weight. Actually, I'm just going to attack for 4. That way I can hold up Spell Pierce just in case. I don't think it changes the math. Because I can hit them... Yeah, I can hit them for 5 and 5. Yep, and I'm glad I did this. Wow. Freaking wow. I can't believe we won that game. So that was a 3-2. Losing to 2 combo decks, but beating Blue-Black Tempo and Karnforge. Of course, piloted by somebody who's his first day playing Legacy. But we'll go ahead and treat that as a win because that deck is degenerate and it's not that hard to play. Okay, so thoughts on the list. Feels great. I really wouldn't change anything. I didn't mind the basics. They never came up. Like, it's totally fine to just play a bunch of duels and not play the basics. But everybody, like every time I play a deck with just duels, somebody in the comments will be like, wait, why aren't you playing basic lands? You're going to get got. And sometimes I do get got, but it's rare. Let's check the penetration of Blood Moon right now. Okay, this is MTG top 8, so take this with a grain of salt, but like 2.3% of decks are playing Blood Moon. 2.3. It's the, I think, 239th, 219th most common played card in the format. It's not played a lot. So there are actually quite a few more people playing Back to Basics than Blood Moon right now. And that's main deck, but we could check the sideboard too. Sideboard. Okay, and it's in 2.1% of sideboards. So you're not going to run into it very often, like 1 in 50 matches, if that's like a big deal for you. I think based on that, I am going to go back to just like, and again, you might say like, oh, what the heck, dude? You're going to get wasted out of the game. Like Wastelands it's actually worse if you're playing basics against Wasteland. And I know that sounds paradoxical, but it really is the case in my humble opinion. And the reason is because you'll get color screwed. Your opponents can like take you off colors way easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a Savannah and I'm going to put in a Surveil land, which will also be Hedge Maze. And I'm going to play one more fetch. Wait, do I not own a Savannah? Oh, wait. I already have a Savannah. Okay. I'm going to add one of these Windswept Teeths. And then that's 10 fetches, 10 fetchables. Wait, where did my Hedge Maze? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's 9 fetches, 10 fetchables, 8 fetches. I think that's plenty. And you want to have more fetches anyway. Fetches are great because there are some mad lads out there playing Stifle, but in general, it's just going to be way more stable if you do it this way. Now, after the One Ring gets banned and stuff, Moonstomping will come back, but right now everybody's like, why do I want to be playing, Blood Moon? What is it really that good? And everybody's come to the conclusion that the 2 One Ring decks that matter are Karnforge and Post, like specifically Blue Cloud Post, but I do run into green variation sometimes. And if that's the case, I don't know. Like I think you could just play a couple Wastelands. They certainly would have been helpful to have a couple Wastelands, even if you're not doing anything like tempo wise. So what I would actually do is I would take out a Pierce, I'd bring in 2 Wastelands, and I'd bring in a Daze. And that's like our 5th main deck's Force of Will. The other thing you could do is if you want to punish those decks, you could just play a Life from Loam. And I've been playing a lot of builds with that. So if we do Life from the Loam, that does take up a slot though. It's not free to do that. All right, and then you have the ability to kind of loop through these, but if you play Daze, which I think is justified, and this is what Pokemoki does, and he's a genius. He's like one of the best brewers. Like he'll play like a mix of interactions so you don't really know what you're playing around. I think that's really strong too. You can always just cast the Daze. You don't necessarily have to bounce a card back to your hand. So a lot of people might bristle at this. Oh, it's so ugly. Why are you playing 1 Pierce and 1 Daze and like 2 Wastelands and a Loam? But this is pretty standard control fare. Now, you'll note that I'm not playing Uro. You could absolutely play Uro here. But the problem with Uro is he's slow. So slow. But but you could play one. And if you play one, you don't have to worry about the redundant Uro thing. We could take out a Teferi and we could play an Uro. Teferi's good, but he's not, like, you don't want to draw 2 Teferis. So then we're kind of back to like what I was playing previously. It's less tempo bendy, less of a tempo bend, but like this is probably what I would play. And if you think about it, like this would have been consequential, the fact that we had these cards, right? Like we would have been able to probably Daze. I think there were like situations where we had a Pierce in hand and we didn't have a Daze. And there were some situations where Daze would not have done it, but Pierce did do it. I want to be clear that I'm not trying to sell Pierce short, but like I think this is what I would play. I do like Loam a lot. It could be that Loam is a sideboard card though. And maybe instead of the Prismatic Ending, we want to have Loam here. Prismatic Ending is really only good against tempo. We did face tempo once. But against like these kind of big mana decks, it is nice to potentially be able to do that. But then you have to ask, okay, what are we trying to do? Like Loam blocking people takes forever. But it is really good. Like in that Karnforge matchup, if we'd had Loam, we probably could have eventually ground him out. And if we move the Loam to the sideboard, then we have room for a second Pierce, which I don't hate. Just because there's so much freaking combo out there. But instead of playing the second Pierce, it might make sense actually to play the second Daze. And if you're playing a second Daze, it might make sense to just get rid of the Savannah completely and get rid of this. And then just play an extra underground trop. And if you're getting rid of this, then you can go up to 3 of these. And this is basically what I've been playing. Like, we're kind of going around in circles. I think this is too much of a tempo bend. I've really liked not leaning too heavily into tempo. And playing, I think the Savannah is fine. Because we do have a lot more white than the builds that I was previously playing. And I would probably cut the Uro completely. We already have 2 engines in our deck. There were situations where we were just sitting there doing nothing, but usually you're going to have a Tomio out or you're going to be working toward a Plagon. And Plagon fills up your hand and yeah, and then of course Aang. Like we have lots of stuff to spend mana on. It's not like we were ever just sitting there with tons of mana and nothing to do. If anything, it was the opposite. So you could argue, oh, you should play more lands. But then I need you to remember very very clearly there were situations where we had way too much mana. Right? We got flooded several times. And I would blame at least one of my match losses on flood. And not to say that like that affects everybody. Variance hits me just like it hits everybody else, but yeah. And then I'll just bring one more Windswept back in. And I think this is the deck that I'll submit as the kind of like post sideboard discussion changes. Prismatic Ending is really good against tempo. I don't know. I do think that the 4th Prismatic Ending is probably more impactful than Life from the Loam. We already have so many things. Like now that we've added these Wastelands, these do take care of the misfired villages and stuff, and we can proactively dig. Like 2 in your deck is probably enough to be able to ponder and brainstorm and eventually find in a longer game if you need to clear those. These are also good against Urza Saga, which is a problem for our deck for sure. You could play Dress Down. Dress Down doesn't really negatively affect our deck at all. We don't have any ETBs other than Plagon itself. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the board the way it was with the additional Prismatic Ending. It's too good of a card. All right, and that was a very extended kind of like sign off, but I wanted to show you like the different options you have here. It's not uncommon for these 3-color control decks to play a couple Wastelands just to address like Mistrise Village now, and of course in the past, cards like Tabernacle of the Veil, or Tabernacle of the Pendrel Veil. That card's just an absolute beating against go wide strategies like this. Your creatures can like tap themselves and pay for it, but it is awkward. Also, I want to highlight, just in case you don't believe me and you're still like, oh, I really don't feel comfortable going without basics. I played against a Blood Moon deck and I 2-0'd it. And then I played against another Blood Moon deck and I did end up losing. But when I lost, I had 4 Noble Hierarchs out and all my mana colored needs were met because I just played the first Noble Hierarch and then I was able to each turn play out another one. And I still lost to like 1 ring shenanigans, but the reason I lost was not for lack of colored mana. It was actually a much bigger deal that I couldn't shuffle away my bad, like I wasn't able to brainstorm away bad cards. And that's a bigger deal. And that's not something that running basics is going to help you with. So I will leave it there. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.